Hello and welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance. I remember that last time we were supposed to do fist fighting quest in Skalitz, but I went there and I can't get them to show up. However, I will remember to do it at some stage, and when I get them, no quest giver to show up over there, then I'm gonna do the quest. However, now we are in Pribyslavitz, and let's do some judgments.
Good day, Master Bailiff.
God be with you. What's the trouble?
Lame Agatha, that old crone who lives on the edge of the village.
What's she done to you?
Well, I thought you should know. She's getting mixed up in the herbwoman's trade and selling folk all kinds of ointments and potions.
What's wrong with that?
It's all a swindle and a cheat. She ought to be burned as a witch.
Okay, let's ask her some questions.
What do you mean, it's a swindle?
Because those mixtures of hers don't work. It's nothing but plain water with herbs and pork lard.
How do you know about it? Have you tried something from her yourself?
Me? Why would I? Well, that would be a sin, wouldn't it?
What do you mean, it's a swindle? So it's not witch's brew she's selling, just ordinary herbs?
Exactly, the swindler. But she casts spells too, I can tell you that.
Well, I suppose she did something to you, otherwise you wouldn't be here.
She X'd my hens and now they won't lay. And she put a spell on her own so they lay double.
Are you serious?
I swear by the Holy Mother of God, she put a spell on them.
Well,
Let's get the other
that's a very serious accusation.
dialogue option, and yeah.
What kind of ointments and potions are you talking about?
Oh, you know, potions for an aching head, women's pains, and herbs to make cows give more milk.
Okay. We can choose this, and this will be a positive outcome. So I can't waste time with this. Will give us some extra reputation, plus 2 citizens, and 30 groschen per day. However, we're gonna go to rule on the matter, and there are 3 options here. It's nothing serious, and you're just envious. So first 2 give the same outcome as I can't waste time on this, and then the last one, there will be no witchcraft in my village, gives negative reputation plus 1 in 2 citizen, and plus 45 per day. We're not in a need of money, so I'm just gonna say it's nothing serious.
I don't think there's anything untoward going on here. Folk will always turn to quacks and herbalists for remedies. As long as they're hurting no one, leave them to it.
Witches should burn. You call that justice? Next time I'll go straight to the bishop.
I'll go to the bishop then. Don't waste my time. Okay. So, since we did Johanka's questline, which is part of Woman's Lot, I think it would be good to do Theresa's questline as well. So that's what we are going to do now. Should we go to Sasso and have a look if we can find Matthew maybe? And okay, right. I think there are some guys who need to be handled.
I'm going to...
You're not going to do anything, son.
You'll get...
Okay, let me have a look if there's anybody left, but I think that's it. However, yeah, let me go to Ratai Mill, have a chat with Theresa as well. Besides, I think we actually should close the romance line with Theresa as well. We are back in Ratai Mill.
Henry, I'm glad you came.
Here's our friend Miller Peshek, and here's Theresa, so let's have a chat with her.
Oh, Henry of Skalitz, the glorious victor of the rat-eye tourney.
About that evening.
Ah, yes. I never thanked you properly for helping me with the laundry. That storm would have carried it off to God knows where.
Oh, I think you thanked me enough. But next time we should take shelter somewhere else. That hayseed gets into places it shouldn't, and itches like mad.
Henry, you donkey. You really know how to sweet-talk a girl, don't you? And anyway, what do you mean by next time? Just what exactly do you have in mind for the two of us?
How do you see things?
Me? Well, when you're not behaving like a total nincompoop. I kind of like being with you.
I behave like a nincompoop.
Yes, like now answering a question with another question. How do you see it with us, Henry? If I really must say it, I like you very much, and you saved my life in Skalitz.
And you saved mine. So we're even. Well, we'll be together. Like a couple. And when the time comes, you'll take me as your husband, right?
You're full of yourself, aren't you? But that's not how things are done.
Well, obviously, under normal circumstances, I'd ask your pa for your hand, but...
Papa? Yes. He'd set the dogs on you. Now you'd have to get Uncle Peshek's blessing.
I reckon I'd have no better luck with him. Unless he saw a way to profit from it.
And I'd have a sack of flour for my dowry. But seriously, Henry, what kind of husband would you make? You can't sit still in one place for an hour at a time.
Well, I've got a lot of duties, but... I'm very fond of you, you know. And maybe one day...
I know, you silly sod. We can't get married yet. But we can still see each other and be fond of each other.
Okay, perfect. So we can take her for a date again. That's nice. In this case, let's dive into the to her storyline.
What actually happened to you in Skalitz? I mean, during the attack and... Well, you know.
That's a long story. Not a very cheerful one. Are you sure you want to hear it now?
I do.
All right, then. It was a day like any other. Another ordinary day in my ordinary life. I awoke at first light, before the others. I like those kind of mornings best. When the first rays of sunshine quickly drive away the nighttime cold. Hello, you. Come here. And the breeze carries the scent of dew-covered grass and the bloom of spring. I wanted to get my chores done before the rest of the household was up. And this morning seemed made for that very purpose. Right, better get to work. I have to feed the hens, weed the garden, feed Tinker. I'd better get it all done before Papa is up.
Okay, so there's no real time constraints.
I must bring Tinker a piece of meat. That'll be a nice treat.
But we also cannot stray too far, because what's gonna happen is we will fail the chores, and this will limit us a little in regards with amount of money that we get. And oh no, actually give me this. Thank you very much for completing the quests. So what I'm looking for is also, here we go, chicken feed. Nice. Okay, so what do we have to do? Yeah. Okay. So first, Doc, come on.
To me.
There we go.
Good fella. That's my... Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
Good. Now. Let's grab this because we may need that. And let's look for chickens. Chickens. Where are you? Chickens. Here we go.
Here, chickie. Here you are, girls. Fill your beaks.
Okay. And the last thing is the garden.
That should do it. The garden is looking how it should again.
Okay. Oh. We know this guy.
What do you need, Papa?
Go up and see the blacksmith. He made some nails for me. Here's some coin.
All right. Anything else while I'm at it?
No, unless you want to stop off at the market and buy some supplies. And before you go, wake Samuel. The boy's still lying in bed and won't stir. He ought to follow your example and Stebor's. You two don't have to be pushed to work. Well, at least he's still better than that good-for-nothing Zbyszek. The lazy wretch. A helper like that isn't worth a damn. If it weren't for his father, God rest his soul, I'd have thrown him out on his ear long ago.
Now, Father, you shouldn't be so hard on Zbyszek. You know he hasn't had an easy life.
And who has, girl? That's no excuse for laziness. You could tell him to get his ass to work, too.
Right, go for nails, send Samuel and Zbyszek to work. If it's at all possible.
Aye, just so. Oh, and Theresa, once you've done all your chores for the day, I've a little surprise for you.
Really? Now you've got me curious, Pa. I'll be on my way then.
I don't know, let's take it. We can probably sell those things. When we go to the market, let's see what's up there as well. Here we go.
Sammy, get up. It's broad daylight and the birds are singing.
Yeah, I'm up.
Have a bite to eat before going to the mine.
All right, Ma. You don't have to treat me like a child. Looks like it'll be nice today, eh? I could go to the pond fishing.
But you have to go to work.
I know. But maybe I can slip off after lunch.
There'll be no slipping off. You know very well Nemoy has been complaining about you.
What about dropping that pail on Tonda's head? It was an accident.
Not the first accident you've had, though, was it?
Well, there you go then. If I leave early, nothing will happen to anyone. And you can cook the fish for lunch tomorrow.
You silly sod. All you ever do at the pond is lie around. The only thing you'll catch is more trouble from the mine master when he finds out. Well, if you're not a child, you can sort it out yourself with Nemoy.
Don't I always?
Nice. Oh. Let's get the other guy.
Pa says you're idle, and if you carry on like that, he'll throw you out.
Ah! Why would he do that? Then he'd be left only with Stibor, and Stibor's not going to break his back working either.
Listen, Zbyszek. Pa's not happy with you, and if he says you're idling, you'd better make a bit of effort. I'm only telling you for your own good. You wouldn't want to lose your job now, would you?
You lot are always going on about work as if it was a blessing from heaven. All right. I'll get to work. Anything for a bit of peace.
That's more like it. You'll see it doesn't hurt.
Here we go. We can sleep and save here. Nice. We can sell everything. Okay, so let's go and get some nails.
I've seen you in Skalitz, but I've never spoken to you before.
No, not many people talk to me.
Why is that?
Why? Because I'm a stranger here, and people would rather look after their own than strangers.
Why are you begging?
I lost everything. I had a wife, a home, children. I had cattle and sheep. Then foreign soldiers came and took it all from me. They killed and burned. Only I survived.
What soldiers do you mean?
I don't know. One soldier's the same as the next. I fled far away to this peaceful land, as far as I could from the scene of my suffering.
I'll give you something. Wait.
A few groschen will do.
Here you are. At least you can get yourself a bite to eat.
Oh, thanks 1,000-fold. God sees your good deed and will watch over you.
Okay, good luck. So sad. Hey chickens, how you doing? Okay. Let's wait until we get lockpicks.
Good morning.
Hello.
What's new in the village, Yarmila?
Did you happen to meet that scholar who's been wandering around here since yesterday? He told me a wonderful story from olden times when Princess Libusa ruled. You've heard about Libusa, haven't you?
Nope.
No. I don't know her. Who was she?
Really? I thought everyone knew that story. She was a princess of bygone days who married a plowman, and he later became king. But she was a seer too, and she had all sorts of visions. And she founded Prague.
That's interesting. What did the scholar tell you about her?
About the Maiden's War. Would you like to hear it?
Maiden's War. That sounds like a good story. Tell me about it.
Girls were different back then. In pagan times, they could live... How did he put it? Free of the yoke of marriage. They bore arms like men and waged war. And they chose their own leader. And they even dressed like men. Can you believe it?
What happened to them?
He said they were so bold that they even built their own fortress, where no man was allowed.
They really did that themselves?
Oh, aye. And when the menfolk found out, they were envious. They came together in great numbers and built their own fortress in sight of the Maiden's one.
What? Men and women lived separately in their own castles?
They did, and they waged war on each other. The men were braver, but the women often outsmarted them.
Naturally. How did it end up?
In the end, they agreed on a truce. To celebrate peace, they feasted for 3 days, and each man took away one bride.
Oh. I was expecting it to end differently.
I'd be happier too if the women won and could grab any husband they wanted.
A pretty picture indeed. Thanks for the story. It was quite inspiring. I must be going. Our fortress is still ruled by men, and they haven't learned to clean up after themselves.
There's also something outside of the city.
Why are you praying here?
It was here that it happened. Me and my son Bozek. We were carting tree trunks from the woods but the wagon fell into a pothole. I told Bozek to put branches under the wheels so the oxen could haul it out. Once he had it done, I cracked the whip. The beasts pulled, and then there was a terrible crashing sound. I had the timber tied down as always, but the rope must have broken under the strain, and as the wagon jerked forward, the tree trunks began to roll out of the wagon, and Bozek was beneath them.
Mother of God.
When we buried him, I agreed with the bailiff to erect a cross here. I made it myself, and now I come here to pray in Bozek's memory.
When did it happen?
2 years ago. I've been coming here ever since.
Do you have any other family?
A wife and 2 children. My daughter doesn't live with us. She's married to the tailor in Ratai. My son helps me with my trade.
I'm very sorry. Next time I'm in church, I'll pray for Bozek too.
That's kind of you. Thank you.
Those books of yours are of no use in the real world of ordinary people.
And indeed they have no place there. The only use you have for paper is to...
What are you two quarrelling about here, for the love of God?
This pipsqueak here claims studying is as hard a job as working in the stables.
I most certainly did not, because study is of course much harder work than mucking out a bit of horse manure.
See? That's what I'm talking about. And yet it's as clear as day.
Hang on. What's as clear as day?
That study is as hard as mucking out stables, if not harder.
A man who doesn't work with his hands is an idler, and a good for nothing. Am I wrong?
I'd like to ask you a couple of questions before answering. You're a scholar. What are you doing in Skalitz?
I'm on my way to Sassau with letters. This ingrate here is stabling my horse overnight before I continue my journey.
What does your work involve, student?
I'm no student, but a baccalaureus, having completed the trivium of the Faculty of Liberal Arts in the University of Prague. Grammar, rhetoric, and dialectics are my work, while this yokel wouldn't be capable even of learning Latin. Father arranged that I will serve as a teacher in Kuttenberg for 2 years before returning to the university to attend the quadrivium. To teach and be taught, that is real work.
You serve Sir Radzig at the castle, don't you, Master Groom?
Aye, and Sir Radzig is very pleased with my work. I can be rightly proud of what I do, and I bring home a nice wage too. The children are fed, and the wife can buy herself a nice scarf from time to time. I'm satisfied with my lot. How many people can say that?
What's so hard about your job, Master Groom?
That's real work. Not like this parasite here does. On my feet from dawn till dusk, feeding, mucking out, grooming. By evening, I'm dead on my feet. I'm doing something real, see? Something that makes sense. Horses are needed for work, for the lords, for riding out, even in times of war. And someone has to care for those horses. All this good-for-nothing can do is mouth off. But he'd never be able to do a real job.
That's all I need to know. You're both right, but not one of you has a grain of sense. Work is work, whether it's done with your hands or your heart.
Ah, rhetoric worthy of Socrates himself, and out of the mouth of a woman. I bow to you, good maiden. The professors of Prague could learn a thing or two from you.
Are you saying this good-for-nothing here, who has to beg for his beer at the tavern, is my equal? But to hell with it. I won't argue.
God be with you, Theresa.
Okay, let's see who else we can talk to. I don't think we have a lot of playing to shine, considering that we can give people hugs, aka take them out stealthily, at least at this stage. So okay, we have no lockpicks as well. That's a bummer.
What's new with you?
Well, I went to see Pavlena's father to ask for her hand. He hummed and hawed for a bit, but in the end he gave his blessing. He didn't offer much of a dowry, but I don't care. The main thing is I can finally be with my Pavlena. We'll be wed in the summer.
That's great. I wish you happiness. Bianca, how come you're up so bright and early?
Papa has me running around from dawn till dusk. You know how it is.
Indeed I do.
I'm glad you're here, Tess. You've got to help me with something. But first, can you go and see Henry for me? He's at the sheepfold by the stockade, as usual.
Oh? Playing around with wooden swords again?
Aye. He's getting ready for the life of a mighty warrior.
Well, at least we know he'll be able to protect you from outlaws with wooden swords.
Oh well, boys and their games. Listen, would you bring him a beer from me?
But why don't you bring it yourself?
If Pa saw me running after Henry, he'd tan my hide. But I can't leave him dry in this heat.
All right, I'll bring the beer to him.
Thanks. And don't forget to tell him it's from me.
Everyone knows all the beer in Skalitz is from you and your pa.
You know what I mean. And listen, Tess. Once you've given him the beer, come back to me again. Meanwhile, I'll make an excuse to Pa. I need you to go somewhere with me, but I'll tell you all about it after. Run along before the beer gets warm.
Let's have a chat with our champion and ace, Henry of Skalitz.
God be with you, Henry. Mind you don't get hurt.
Good day, Theresa.
Can I get in? How do we get in? There we go.
I brought you a beer. I'd say you'd need it after a hard battle.
Ah, great. It's as hot as Pa's Forge out here today. That's very sweet of you to get me a beer.
Actually, Bianca sent it. Her pa doesn't want her to come here.
Ah, I see. I'll make it up to her this evening.
I don't want to know how. How come you're training on your own today? You're usually here with that vagabond. What's his name?
Vanyek. And he's not a vagabond. He's a wayfaring combat master.
Well, it looks like he's off wayfaring somewhere else today.
Yeah, more likely sleeping off last night's boozing. Actually, since I've no opponent today, wouldn't you like to have a go? I mean, a bit of swordplay. I could teach you.
Me? Swordplay?
Sure. Why not?
All right then. I accept your challenge, young sir, but I must warn you, I can swat a mouse with a broom with my eyes closed.
Yeah, I knew you had the heart of a warrior. Let's go then. Come on then.
Let's go, Henry. I'm gonna kick your
Whoever is
ass.
the first to hit the other 10 times is the victor.
What if I hurt you, though?
Ah, don't worry. I can handle it.
Oh. Not sure if it counts as a hit. Oh. No, 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 Henry. What you doing? Oh no, son. Too slow. Ouch.
Don't go easy on me, Hal.
Ah, very good.
Henry! Really? Now that is hardly chivalrous behavior. Now, I shall have to fight for my honor. Take that, you scoundrel! Are you all right?
Nothing, I'm fine.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Are you mad at me?
No, of course not. It's my own stupid fault.
Well, that'll teach you to go around slapping decent, God-fearing girls on the backside. Let me have a look at it.
No, it's only a scratch and a couple of splinters. And I didn't mean to, you know.
Show me that.
No, really, it's nothing.
You know how it is, Hal. He who lives by the sword
Dies by the splinter, eh?
There now. By the way, you owe Bianca for that beer. No sign of the blacksmith. Where can he be?
Hello. To get them lockpicks. Pick locks. Cheese. No. Oh, this has been tagged. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Father sent me to pick up nails, but there's no one at the fort.
Aye, sorry, lass. Martin had to go to the castle to talk to Sir Radzig. He's to forge a sword for his lordship.
Oh, I see. And has he made the nails for Pa?
I'm afraid he hasn't had time on account of that sword. But if you come tomorrow, he'll surely have them for you. I'll remind him this evening.
All right, I'll stop by tomorrow.
Do that, dear. Oh, and by the way, the girls were looking for you.
I talked to Bianca. Was someone else looking for me?
Aye, your hanker too. She ought to be home now, if you want to stop by and see her before you go home.
What was it about?
They didn't say, but it seemed important. Which probably means boys, I suppose, hey?
There's no harm in that, is there, good wife? You were young yourself once and went dancing with boys.
Oh, so I'm an old woman now, am I?
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I'm only teasing you, girl. Dancing is just what you young ones should be doing. Make the most of it while you can. Before you know it, your pa will find you a husband, and you'll have a pack of children to take care of.
Let's hope it's not too soon. Thanks for letting me know. I'll stop by tomorrow for those nails then.
Not at all. Oh, and another thing, Theresa. Have you seen Henry around anywhere? If he helped his father out more at the forge, there'd be no shortage of nails.
Henry? I haven't seen him at all today.
That lad is worse than a wild tomcat, always running off somewhere.
I'm sure he'll turn up soon.
Aye, when he gets hungry.
Yeah, let's go wait for Henry. He's a good lad. Okay, let's see if we can find Johanka. Where is her house then?
Oh my, what am I going to do? Johanka, what's up?
I was asking around for you. There's something we have to talk about. Are you going to the dance this evening?
I'd like to go and have a look, if I have time for it. Why? Do you want to borrow my dress?
No, nothing like that. I've got a dress, but I don't want to end up dancing on my own, if you know what I mean.
What? You want me to dance with you?
Imagine what folk would make of that. No, silly. I want Matthias to dance with me.
So, what's the problem? Just go and tell him. You've had your eye on him since the Harvest Festival. Surely you must have noticed by now.
He hasn't. I'm at a loss what to do.
Can't you just go and invite him straight out?
You must be joking. What if he doesn't like me? What if he's more interested in... No, not a chance.
What is it you see in Matthias? What about Matthew or Fritz? You'd have it a lot easier with those two. All it takes is a twirl of your skirts, and they'll be fighting over who dances with you.
Fritz, are you serious? He's an idler and a half-wit, and he stinks. And Matthew isn't much better. For all his smart talk, he's as slimy as a toad. But Matthias is handsome and kind. He's sweet and honest and handsome.
I get the feeling you think he's handsome.
Well, he is.
So you'd like Matthias to take you to the dance, but you don't want to tell him?
That's right.
How in heaven's name do you want to do it then?
Easy. You're going to steal his lucky dice.
What? How is that supposed to help, for Christ's sake?
If you can get your hands on it without him noticing, he'll be looking everywhere for it. He'll be wandering around saying to himself, "Where did I put that damned dice?" And then I'll turn up. God be with you, Matthias. You didn't by any chance lose your dice? And he'll say,
"Aye, Johanka, I did. Where on earth did you find it?"
"Oh, I found it near the tavern. You know there's going to be a dance there this evening." And then he'll finally get the message.
"Oh, the dance. Yes. Johanka, wouldn't you like to go with me?"
"Of course. I'd love to go with you, Matthias. Thank you for asking." Then he'll take me by the hand, and he'll look... Never mind that. Well, that's how it's going to help. More or less.
You painted a very pretty picture, no doubt. But do you think it'll really work?
I'm absolutely sure it will.
All right, then. I'll help you.
Thank you, Tess. Bring the dice to me as soon as you have it.
Hang on, though. How am I supposed to find it?
He was saying at the tavern yesterday that he keeps it in his trunk when he's not going to play. Go and see Fritz first. I heard he's always got some lockpicks, whatever he wants them for. Anyway, no doubt he can show you how to use one.
Me? Pick locks? Johanka, aren't you going a bit too far?
Well, then maybe you can get hold of his key somehow. But whatever you do, don't get caught. And not a word to Matthias, for the love of God.
For the love of God, lockpicks, yes. Let's do it. How you doing?
Good day.
How are things, Matthew?
Theresa, it's unusual to see you here. Come to see the eighth wonder of the world, have you?
What would that be now?
Fritz, working. Well, that's a sight you don't see every day.
I'd say that's the pot calling the kettle black. You don't look too busy yourself.
Why overdo it? Jesus was a carpenter too, but how many beams do you think he made, eh?
Matthew, that's blasphemy.
No, it's only a harmless joke. You don't have to look at me like the parish priest did at Kunesh, when he spewed over his pew.
Ugh, don't even remind me. Well, I'd better be going. Work to do, you know.
Don't overdo it now.
How are you?
What's new, Fritz?
I don't know. Oh, actually, I do know. There's gonna be a dance this evening. Are you going?
Maybe. I've got a lot to do still.
They say it's gonna carry on tomorrow too. And they'll be roasting a pig. Can't miss that.
So I heard. I wonder how come Sir Radzig allowed it.
No, it wasn't his lordship's idea. It was Master Faithfar's.
Master Tobias? Why would he do that?
I don't know. Maybe he just wants to show off his wealth. I'd have roast pig and dancing every evening if I had his coin.
Listen, Fritz, I hear you know something about opening locks without a key.
Sure. All you have to do is charge at the door, shoulder first.
I don't want to break down a door. I want to pick a lock.
Ah, you want a lockpick then?
Shh, not so loud.
Well, I can give you some. But you know what they say. Not even a pig grunts for free.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Who says that?
Mostly me. And everyone thinks it's fucking clever, so bugger off.
No. Let's see.
Hey, Fritz. How about giving me a couple of lockpicks for free, eh? After all, we've known each other since we were little.
Alright, but just this time. If you break them, don't expect to get more for free.
Just two?
You said a couple, didn't you?
Will you teach me how to pick a lock?
Sure. For a few groschen.
Satisfied?
Well, a little more and we'll call it a deal. It's easy as fuck, unless you're all thumbs. Listen, you've got to find a spot where the lock catches and press on it. And only then can you turn it. Nice and light though. No jerky movements. Like when you're caressing a girl's... that is,
I get it. Thanks.
God almighty, has something happened to you? Did someone steal your fancy clothes?
Oh, don't ask me.
Tell me, Matthias, what do you think of your hunker?
Your hunker? Yeah, she's a nice girl. She helped the lads and me out of a few scrapes. Actually, she's always been good to us. Why do you ask?
No reason.
I was just curious, that's all. Listen, Matthias. Fritz and Matthew have been looking for you. It seemed very important. You should hurry.
Really? That's funny. I can't imagine what it's about, but if it's as urgent as you think, I'd better go and see what's up.
Okay, so now we get an easy entry. Now we can take what we want. This, and this. We don't need torches. Okay, this will do. Now, back to Johanka. And let's give her the die.
God be with you. What can I do for you?
About Matthias.
Yes? Tell me everything.
I've brought you his dice.
I knew you'd do it. Thanks. This is great. I'll bring it to him. Keep your fingers crossed for me.
No problem. I will. Good luck. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. Next time we're gonna continue. We're gonna go to Bianca as well. I'm not sure in which order, but we're gonna go back to Bianca. We're gonna go to Father and then do a few other things. Also, what I'm gonna do when I'm done here, I'm gonna go back to the beginning and get one of the achievements that's called the Bad Girl, which requires you to fail all of the chores. So yeah, but I will do this off camera. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.